This one, when Coach Pittman was hired, during all the conversations about who was going to be the next football coach, in my mind, I thought Coach Pittman would be a good choice, even though he was not at the top of the list. But I was excited as well as the fan base when he took the job, and I think they're both saying together you were missed. I think that's kind of how a lot of people felt. I mean, he certainly missed Arkansas, and many in Arkansas missed him. So that's another one of my favorites. I forgot about that one. Let's see here.
I love this one.
This one, kind of a parody of Dr. Seuss. It's always good to beat Alabama, even in basketball, and so kind of played off Dr. Seuss there. The women's basketball team, I gave them some props there. I think some people were missing how well they were doing, and so it's like, okay, don't forget about the girls. Coach Muss requested through Pat Ackerman, that he would like to have a cartoon with Bud Walton Arena. And he said, I'll put that on my own Twitter account. So anyway, did this one of Bud Walton, kind of like raise the roof. Let's make it loud. That one was fun to do. And then the Must Bus theme. When Isaiah came back from his injury, it was like gas in the bus. I mean, it was, things took off, and like the caption there, good to be running better, and it was obvious we were running better. There's another Bud Walton, Hog Rising, hog ears coming out of the top. This is one of the COVID cartoons that I did, kind of played off of Muss's Pace and Space quote, and so that kind of relates to social distancing, and kind of got concerned for the sports media during everything being shut down. So I had a little fun with this. We see these guys out all the time with my job asking for money, and I thought, well, there may be some people in sports media joining the ranks. Coach Sutton, he's the earliest basketball coach that I remember following, and it was great to see him honored there in the Hall of Fame, and just want to do something special, to commemorate that. He did put us on the map, in my opinion. Isaiah Joe, just sticking his toe in the water, seeing what's going to happen maybe with the NBA. So that was my thoughts on that. From time to time, I'll do Hog fans seeing a psychiatrist, and I think a lot of Hog fans struggle emotionally and mentally, and this was about the mental health concerns with the COVID-19. So he's confessing, hey, this is affecting my mental health. I'm terrified that we won't have football. So, and I think a lot of people felt that way, but it's looking better. Jimmy Witt, boy, he was such a key player with our basketball team this past year. He played such a vital role, and so anyway, did one on him, and I was glad to see natural grass back in the stadium. So the Hog feeling good about being back on grass. COVID-19, it kind of puts us behind the eight ball, I think. And I heard Ty Richardson on the radio say, boy, this is probably going to put us behind the eight ball. I thought, cartoon. And so anyway, that was my inspiration on that one. The baseball team, so sad we didn't get to finish this season. So I had this thought of, okay, we faced the COVID spoilers, and they did shut us out, but as he says, I got a feeling it won't happen again in my lifetime. So there's another Must Bus. Yeah. I think that was my first Must Bus cartoon. This was a cartoon. I had some thoughts about how we were just, during the basketball season, we were just short in a lot of ways. It was kind of showing up. And so, that all adds up. Short here, short there, short on SEC wins, and there's another one. Now, this cartoon I did for the Arkansas Baptist News, but it was during last year's baseball seaon when Isaiah Campbell was doing so well, and so I kind of played on that, portrayed this pastor as Pastor Campbell, and these kids are admiring him, and asked him questions about
That's cute.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I did one of Van Horn too. This is Pastor Dave when you preach twice on Sundays at a doubleheader, So anyway, that's supposed to look kind of like Coach Van Horn.
Yeah.
And then this was a concern for a lot of people during football season, the offensive line. So on the prayer list at church, the offensive line is on the prayer list, So anyway.
These are great.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are great.